So this TikToker is a rapper. She's also a billionaire. Sort of. Let me explain. Now we're gonna call her Razzle. And Razzle is a smart woman, she works in business tech, and she loves to bust rhymes.
Spirit of a revolutionary, power of a dictator, love to be contrary, but I'm fly like a gator.
But we'll get to her raps in a second. Now, I've told you the story of Razzle before last year, but there have been some updates, so let me get you up to speed. Now, the story starts with Razzle's boyfriend, this guy, who calls himself Dutch. And Dutch also works in tech, and he's supposedly some kind of genius. And one day, back in 2016, Dutch decides to exploit a security flaw and hack a Bitcoin exchange. Oh, and Dutch doesn't just steal a little bit of money. Bro ends up stealing over 119,000 Bitcoin, which at this time is worth $72 million. Damn. And this heist is all over the news. It is a huge deal. In fact, this is such a big deal, when word gets out, it immediately makes the trading price of Bitcoin drop 20% overnight. And of course, with all this noise, this gets the attention of Homeland Security and the IRS, and they start investigating. Now Dutch, he knows he can't go on a big spending spree, it'll tip off the IRS. So he moves the Bitcoin to a different platform on the dark web. And then he just chills and waits. He doesn't touch it. And about a year goes by, and the 72 million in Bitcoin is still sitting there. So he decides, alright, it's time to launder this shit. And to launder it, he enlists the help of his romantic partner and rapper extraordinaire, Razzle.
I blame love stories, relationships.
And so Razzle and Dutch, they get to work laundering this money, and they split up the Bitcoin into tiny amounts, and they move it to thousands of different wallets using fake identities. They even create a fake company with fake employees. Like, the whole thing gets pretty elaborate. But here's what's really crazy. During all this, the value of crypto keeps rising. And over the next few years, the 72 million in Bitcoin becomes worth $4.5 billion. $4.5 billion fucking dollars. Oh my god. That makes Dutch's hack not just the biggest Bitcoin heist, but the biggest heist ever in US history. Now, considering the amount they had stolen, Dutch and Razzle, they're not spending a big chunk of it. Like, they're not out buying Bentleys and Tigers and stuff like that. No, they took some nice trips, but nothing too over the top. But during all this, Razzle starts getting more and more into social media. And she starts a TikTok account and a YouTube, and she starts building a following and putting herself online a lot more.
Guilty, 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 I'm motherfucking filthy.
And this is where she really gets into her rap career.
Motherfucking crocodile of Wall Street. Silver on my fingers and boots on my feet.
Now, let me be the first to say, homegirl's got bars.
I'm a motherfucking bad bitch. Go on, make me a sandwich. You annoying like vag itch.
No, I'm serious. She's got bars.
Hit and run by golf cart, poison you with a frog dart. You like a fart.
Now, apparently, she starts using some of this money they stole to produce these music videos, which people rag on, but I think they're funny as hell. Like, maybe that's just my sense of humor.
The more they hate, the more I work. Everybody say they're lit, but all they do is showing.
But anyway, eventually, Razzle and Dutch get married. Good for them. And then they take a trip from the US over to the Ukraine. And there, they stay for about a month because they allegedly plan to flee there if the feds ever catch on to their multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin heist. Apparently, the Ukraine doesn't extradite to the US, so if they get caught, they won't be sent back to the States. And so, Razzle and Dutch, they get fake Ukrainian passports and SIM cards and bank accounts, and they set this whole thing up. And it seems like this plan might work, and that they've gotten away with stealing $4.5 billion in Bitcoin. Until here's where things start to go south. One day, Razzle buys a Walmart gift card. Now, this gift card is going to be their downfall. So one of the ways Razzle and Dutch laundered the Bitcoin was they would exchange it for prepaid gift cards. And so they get a bunch of these gift cards, and one of those cards is this $500 Walmart gift card. And when Razzle uses it, the purchase ends up being linked to Dutch's IP address. Now at this point in the story, the feds have been watching them because they're really suspicious. And through Dutch's IP address, they're able to find some other accounts tied to him, and blah blah blah, boring crypto stuff, and that eventually leads leads them to a bunch of the stolen Bitcoin. Plus, the things that Razzle bought using that Walmart gift card also end up being delivered to her and Dutch's apartment. And so now, feds have their home address. And so, boom, they swoop in and raid their apartment, and then bam, they arrest them. Here's Razzle's mugshot. And here's Dutch's mugshot.
Tuesday, police in New York arrested a husband and wife couple that allegedly tried to launder just that amount, which seems to be connected to a 2016 hack.
And in their apartment, agents find over $40,000 in cash, like 50 different computers and tablets and burner phones and jump drives, and ultimately they're able to seize most of the stolen Bitcoin.
The Department of Justice has seized over $3.6 billion worth of that stolen cryptocurrency. This is the largest seizure of cryptocurrency ever by U.S. law enforcement.
And so they both take a plea deal, and Dutch gets sentenced to 5 years in prison, while Razzle gets sentenced to 18 months in prison. But here's where it gets interesting. As of right now, as of me shooting this video, Razzle is on house arrest, and she's waiting on her prison sentence to start. But she's still doing the social media thing, like making videos, uploading to TikTok.
Want to know a little handy trick? If you're ever on house arrest and you have an ankle monitor?
And I don't know if she needs money now or what, but she has a Cameo account. Which, if you don't know what a Cameo account is, it's a site where you can pay someone anonymously to give you shout-outs or basically say whatever you want. So I thought we would have her say a little something.
This is for my Razzler Ray. He is very handsome, has big muscles, and is totally not short.
I actually feel bad for tricking her into saying that. Like, she didn't know it was me. She seemed very nice. Anyway, of course, while she's still waiting for her prison sentence to start, she's still out there rapping and making music videos.
Weird enough to catch a case. They think I'm from outer space. Everyone wanna taste.
No matter what you pay in New York.
Never enough on your fork.
Oink, oink, don't touch that pork.
Amazing. While Dutch, on the other hand, he doesn't seem to be having as good a time as her. He's already in prison. And recently, he released a video himself, and to his credit, he does seem remorseful for what he's done.
Most of what you've heard about me is true. I hacked Bitfinex. I stole and laundered thousands of Bitcoin. And I am so sorry for everything. For a long time, I made one bad, selfish decision after another.
Now, let me just say this. Like, don't commit any crimes. But if you do decide to commit crimes and you get caught, this is the way to handle it. You serve your time and you take responsibility for the mistakes you've made. Dutch is doing it right. Good for him. So, shout out to him and Razzle. Good luck to them both.